Welcome to Don't Quote Me on That. One day we will have an intro, but today is not that day.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Kalina.
And I'm Elanor.
Welcome back to Don't Quote Me on That.
Where we
kind of talk about movies.
Yes. And we picked who was going to do the intro before we started talking.
And we're in the same place together. Look at us. And we are both equally prepared.
Yes.
And we didn't have to do this on the fly because someone doesn't follow instructions.
That is correct. I always follow instructions, except for when I forget about them, which isn't my fault.
Also, we are multitasking because I have a cake I have to make.
Yes, this is half cooking show, half podcast, which I think is a market that people more annoying than us have already tapped into.
So if you want to see the lesson on version, tune in here.
Tune in here.
Also, we have to redeem ourselves a really, really long time ago. Eleanor and I had to make brownies for something. And it was like a box mix. And I was really sick, so I just gave Eleanor the instructions, but Eleanor did all the mixing, and they turned out bad. And we're like, that's weird, but like we also didn't really know how the oven works, so we're like, okay, it's fine. We just like messed up the oven. We figured it out. We'll do it again. They turned out worse the second time.
We ended up making what essentially was, I think, legally just a weapon.
Biohazard?
Oh, yeah. It did a big old brick of sugar. And then our kitchen smelled weird for a while. But I don't think it was our fault.
No. We had a housemate who used to like, just had never had to cook for himself
ever
in his life. And then came to college and was like, I should cook a lamb and a fish. And also he was, I don't know if it was because he was really religious. He just had the strongest constitution known to man. But he never got sick.
No.
So God got him.
For him. My favorite thing he did was to cook, he would wear yellow rubber gloves.
Yeah, I forgot
and he would attempt, well, actually, he wouldn't attempt. He would fully do. He would get things out of the oven wearing the yellow rubber gloves like they were an oven mitt. And at one point, we did have to say, hey, those are going to melt if you keep doing that.
Anyway, we're going to bake, but we also have some media thoughts.
I have more baking thoughts just real quick.
Okay, yeah.
I personally, I have a food processor. Mm-hmm. I don't use it because then I'd have to clean it.
Fair enough.
So I have been creaming butter and sugar. Hi. I've been creaming butter and sugar by hand quite often.
It's funny. I like to mix by hand, but I hate cream and butter and sugar. I'm not patient enough for that. That's also why I can't cook. Because when you mix stuff, you mix it, and then the long part, I don't have to actually do.
Media thoughts. I was thinking the other day about how I don't really know how other people find things to watch or like new artists to consume.
Yeah.
Because like I know what I do, but I think what I do also leaves me listening and watching the same things over and over and over again. And it's very hard for like things to enter my sphere.
That's kind of like what we were talking about when we were talking about 5 Seconds of Summer. It's like I don't remember like listening to them. Or 303. Like I remember one day they were just like in my playlist, but I feel like I listen to a lot of the same artists now. Mm-hmm. I've gotten some songs from TikTok, and then sometimes my Spotify will be like, "Oh, new release, we think you might like." So sometimes I'll add those.
I've started on TikTok. You can add a song to a playlist straight from the app.
Life-changing.
Fantastic. I have like a 6-hour TikTok song playlist. And it's helped. I've discovered new artists that way because if I really like a song, I'll go and listen to what they are. Part of my problem is I don't think I understand genres. Like I don't know how to identify genres.
Yeah.
So I think there are sounds that I like, and a lot of the songs that I really like have the same kind of sound. Mm-hmm. But I don't know how to figure out what genre they are, because when I go to like Google them or Wikipedia them or whatnot, it's always just, well, this is pop. And it's like, well, yeah, but this is not a Sabrina Carpenter pop song. This is like clubby kind of pop. And those have to have a different name.
Yeah.
And I sure would like to find it.
Lately, I've been like going back to artists that maybe like I like the song of theirs. Like I played a lot of them yesterday on Mayday Parade. Where it's like, okay, I knew like 3 or 4 Mayday Parade songs, the popular ones. So like I went back and listened to that album. What is it? Romantics or whatever it is, the yellow looking one. and just listen to older stuff of theirs that I hadn't really heard before.
I don't know if I should be eating while I'm mic'd up, actually.
That's okay.
I did just realize. Okay. Kalina says it's fine, so I'm gonna eat my little orange. Tangerine?
Tangerine?
Okay.
I guess also like people talking to each other. That's the other thing. Like I don't talk to people. My
Yeah.
coworker did get me to watch Wicked because I was like putting it off, and now she's got me on Dancing with the Stars. When I recommend something to someone, I really avoid saying I think you'll like this. I just kind of say I enjoyed this. This is the gist of it. It was nice to watch.
Well, the last thing somebody kind of recommended to me didn't turn out well. I didn't care for it.
I recommended a book to Elanor and they hated it. So they hate me, but that's fine.
Well, and it's also like, I'm not going to go back and tell somebody that I watched what they recommended and I didn't like it, because that's just mean.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine with you because I have to tell you all my thoughts or I'll die.
You think the dollar store would have eggs?
Probably.
Okay, we'll be back. Okay, we're recording.
Okay.
We're back.
We're back. Turns out, dollar store, no eggs, which we learned on our quest for eggs. One thing I don't like is that people can seemingly only describe shows and movies like as other shows and movies.
Mm-hmm.
So like people have called, I have seen once or twice, St. Dennis like The Office but in a hospital, and like that's not. If that's the only context I had for it, I wouldn't watch it because I did not find The Office funny, and so there would be no. I would have no desire to pick that up.
Okay. We're on a time crunch, and I forgot I have to soften butter. So what we're gonna do is go get dressed.
Yes.
And possibly make this cake later.
Okay. Hello.
What's up?
It's us from the car.
Which is where we were before.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
We're going to a place that I remember, and then we'll be going to another place, and then we'll be going to another place.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy.
And if you're really lucky, we'll go to a fourth place.
Ooh.
But in the wise words of John Mulaney, you're not getting me
Pagan.
to a secondary location.
Mm-hmm.
What were we talking about, though?
I was talking about
the
St. Dennis. My favorite part about St. Dennis is that there's this little white guy who's a nurse, and he was raised in a religious cult, and he has a crush on a lady. And I was thinking about this the other day. I don't think I find a will they, won't they storyline compelling.
No.
Especially because, like...
I like a will they, but...
They're gonna.
What is it? Like a slow burn, I guess? Like I like a will they, definitely, but it'll take a little while to get there.
I think, I don't think you've seen New Girl. But there's a little kind of will they, won't they in there. And then they do, and then they break up, and then they get back together again. I liked that, but I also just really like New Girl as a show, so
yeah.
Whatever it does, it can do no wrong, except for the character that became a cop. I pretend that he's not a cop. He is instead, I don't know,
not a cop.
Halloween all the time.
This kind of reminded me of, like, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, like, I feel like for books specifically, like romance books, there's a tendency nowadays to just like slap words on a paper and that's your book description. It's like, if you like enemies to lovers, slow burn, forced proximity, you should read this book. And it's like, okay, but like I don't know what happens in your book. Mm-hmm. It's like if TV show trailers were like, well, basically that, right? Yeah. It's just clips of them like, will they, won't they, brother, like, you know what it is? It's the way they market those TikTok shows. It's like brother's best friend, dark cat, golden retriever, and it's like what happened? Where are they? It's kind of, we were talking about this yesterday, like a locked room mystery. It's like, okay, everything has to happen here. What can I do within the confines of this, right? They're, instead of giving us what the confines of this are, they're giving us the locked room. I'm like, no, I already know they're in a room. I like Knives Out. We talked about it yesterday. I know a Knives Out mystery is going to happen. It's usually it's in one place. It's a bunch of random people who kind of know each other but are all eccentric in different ways. He's going to solve the mystery. But it's like, it would be like if they marketed every Knives Out movie as, oh my God, something happened in this one room.
I also think that there are too many people writing things. I don't particularly read very much, but I see a lot of like Instagram ads, posts about books. And I don't think there should be barriers to creating art. But there's also like, I'm sure there are many problems with like the publishing industry, and I'm sure a lot of them go back to being racist and misogynistic in a way that is not ideal.
Yeah.
But just because you can write 300 pages of wanting to have sex with your brother's best friend doesn't necessarily mean that that should be your career.
Well, it's when it goes right back to that. It's like they're like, okay, I know I just have to, I think when we watched what was the last movie we talked about? Lisa Frankenstein. And you said how you felt that they were like, the first part of the movie was like, okay, it made sense. And then they were like, okay, well, now we know what the end of the movie is. We got to figure out how to get there. It's like, it's not necessarily inspiration. They're like, okay, I want to have enemies to lovers. I want to have Black Cat Golden Retriever. I want to have There Was Only One Bed. And everything else is just, what can I do to get you to that point? From A to B to C, yeah. And so, like, I think people like it in a sense because it's comforting. It's like rewatching your favorite show, but at the same time, I on the other hand, don't want to put a barrier to consuming books because I think reading is really important, and some people are getting back into it or getting into reading for the first time. But at the same time, I think as a whole, because it's saturating the market so much, it's really contributing to like when they talk about like anti-intellectualism and stuff. And I like, listen, you want to read your smut book, read your smut book. I just also think like that shouldn't be the only thing that's being put out and marketed and the only thing you're reading all of the time.
And like, it's not that I think that you're stupid solely because you only consume like TikTok books for the sake of argument, but like if you're only listening to like one voice or one style of voice, you're not really doing yourself a huge favor. Like the last couple of months, I have been really trying to kind of diversify the things I consume, and like starting from, I mean, things as I think especially when you consume news, like this is different, but like when you consume news, I think you should try to kind of see different sources, because everybody will have a bias. But like even for me, I really like sitcoms. I would say 95% of what I watch is a sitcom. I'll throw a drama on that's like adjacent, like House, like St. Dennis. I liked House. I watched House until I like could not stand it anymore, just to get shake it up a little bit, because it's good to shake it up. Like I read a book that was not even recommended to me by a friend. A friend put it in an envelope and sent it to my house, and I was like, okay, if you do that, I will read it. It's not a book that I would have chosen by myself in a billion years. I read it. I enjoyed it.
The issue with books is, one, I feel like people are louder online about the books they like ride or die for versus like music and movies. But also, because it's so much more of an investment of your time, I think it's a lot easier to diversify the music you listen to or the movies you watch, because you're not really committed to that for as long. A book's always going to be an investment of my time unless I'm just reading 10-page short stories all the time.
One of the last books I didn't read it to completion. It's I think tell me if I got that right. I'm going to DNF it.
Yes. Good job. Which I don't like that, because grammatically I'm going to do not finish it.
I'm gonna do not finish it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna didn't do it. But I was reading it on a flight, and I knew fairly early on that I didn't like it, but it was also like, I'm on this plane for another 4 hours. I'm gonna keep going. And so I read it until we started our initial descent, and then I closed it and I said, I gave this such a good try.
Yep.
I'm gonna listen to a podcast for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah. And then it's kind of like a cycle. I mean, history repeats itself, whatever. I think the rise in books, part of the reason people are so loud about it online is we had a rise of like intellectualism and like our brains are cooked, or we're brain rot, whatever. So we need to read more books. But then people were getting really critical about the kinds of books people were reading, which again, a lot of people were getting into reading for the first time or the first time in a long while. You want something that's quick and digestible.
Exactly.
So, but then we cycled back around to, well, you're not better than me because you read books.
Yeah.
So then it was that, and it was anti-intellectuals, and we're just going to cycle back around to, well, I am better than you because I read, and it's never going to end, and we're just going to keep getting slop.
It's hard to be challenged, like especially with reading. I would say it's hard to be challenged by a book when you are just trying to read for fun. And I think that I think you're reading The Count of Monte Cristo right now.
Oh yes, would you like to see it?
That looks like a very intimidating book. If I were to ever read that, yeah, massive thing. I would probably do like 15 pages a week. I'd read 2 pages a day until it finished. Because it's very, very dense, but I would do it. I don't think I would like it because it seems hard. But sometimes you gotta do things.
Yeah.
A part of it for me specifically is I really hate doing things I'm not good at. Which had led me to only do things that I'm good at.
Yeah.
And then I would get bored because there's no challenge in doing things that I know I'm good at. I can be done with quickly. Yeah. And so, like, sometimes life is hard, but on purpose. And I do mean that specifically, like, reading a hard book or trying a new hobby.
You have to, life's going to challenge you. So it's really, really important that you challenge yourself when you can.
Be tenacious.
We're at our destination, so we'll come back to.
Intermission, again.
Hello everybody, it's Kalina. Solo once again. I have dropped Elanor off at the airport. We forgot to record an ending, so I hope you enjoyed our little vlog. Different episode this week. We'll be back to our regularly scheduled content next week. I use the word regularly scheduled very loosely. But thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed our little chit chat. This is kind of get a little insight into what texts between Elanor and I sound like when we're not together. So, as always, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Have a dandy little time. Happy Halloween. Thanks for listening. Don't quote me on that. One day we will have an outro, but it's not today.